In today's video, I want to talk about how I've turned my brand into an online business that pays me every single day, even when I take a break. So if you're a creator and you've not been seeing the growth that you want to see or feel like you've not been making the income you deserve, this is for you. I want to break down my brand strategy, how I made money in multiple different ways, and how you can do this for yourself step by step too. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the winning team. I'm Nakisha if you're new, and today we are talking about how I got to this point and some tips for you to get to whatever point you want to get to as well. We are about to cross 100,000 subscribers here in about 5 minutes on this channel, and I thought that this was a great time to talk about how I got to this point and some tips that I have for you in 2025 that might not be conventional or might not be something that people often talk about, but I want to talk about how I did it because this works differently for everybody. And I kind of want to talk about my journey here today. But before we talk about money, we have to talk about brand. And brand is how you show up online. Who do people see you as or think you are online? Because sometimes that differs from who we are, what we do in our real life, from how we show up on this World Wide Web. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is why are you doing what you're doing in the first place? What is your why? Why do you want to do this? Why did you decide to jump online? And I know, let's keep it real, a lot of people, they jump on because they want to make money. Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that you want to make money. But when you're thinking about how you want to make the money, that's the most important part. You have to decide, listen, am I just in this for a quick, fast little cash injection into my life, or do I want to build something that's long term, something that's going to be sustainable for the long term, for my life? And that's kind of what I decided when I first got online. I knew that I wasn't just trying to jump in here and make a quick coin, because there was no such thing back in my day when I started online. It was, you got online to build up a rapport, to build out a brand presence that you wanted to be lasting. Okay. And so I think that that's important, that you have to decide that from the beginning. And then you got to think about, who are you trying to serve? You have to have an audience in mind. Who do you want to consume your content? If your content is for everybody, I promise you and assure you it is for nobody. You have to choose. And then you got to decide how you're going to show up. What is going to be your platform of choice? First of all, are you going to be a TikToker? Are you going to do YouTube? Is Instagram going to be your jam? You got to decide based on who you are and what your purpose is and why you're here, and who you want to serve, what's going to be the best platform for you. See, I think a lot of times people come up with this notion that, oh, everybody's popping on TikTok, let me go and do this. And that's not necessarily so. You got to think about what you're trying to do and who you're trying to serve before you decide the platform that you're going to be on, because you want to be sure that the audience that you're trying to serve is going to be present on the platform that you choose. That is very, very important. And then in addition to the platform that you choose, how do you want to show up online? What do you stand for? Okay, what do you stand for? One thing we have no shortage of on this internet is copycats. Okay, people taking other people's thought processes and concept and trying to adopt it as their own. And I would beseech you today, okay, to not do that, to genuinely get on here with your own thoughts and opinions. And if they align with other people's, amazing. But you have to be authentically giving your true and honest opinions. Now, this is one of the things that I can say that really helped me stand out in what I do and helped me grow to the point that I am now. When I first started, let's talk about YouTube. When I first started on YouTube, I didn't see very many people that looked like me talking about what I wanted to talk about. Okay, talking about online, the gig economy. First of all, that's how I first showed up. Shout out to all of you that were here for my gig economy days before it became a thing on YouTube. I was out here showcasing myself doing a gig app. And then secondly, my secondary content was talking about online business, blogging, me building out my blog and building out my online brand. And so I didn't see very many people that looked like me. And so I could have taken that and been like, okay, well, maybe it's not for me. It's just for pale men, to talk about, and no one wants to hear from me. But I didn't see it like that, because one thing that I know about my girls, about my people, is that they're going to ride for you. They're going to come through. They like to relate to the person that they're watching. And I definitely know I do. I like to relate to the person that I'm watching in some way, shape, or form. And so for me, I was like, hey, nobody's doing it. Why don't I do it? Right? And so I popped out here doing my thing, very different from the people in the space that were currently doing it. And then in addition to that, I have all these other thought processes that completely go against the grain of the gurus that are just kind of out there. And definitely back in my day, one of the first things that helped me to stand out, right, was that I walked away from corporate America as a single mother before it was the popular thing to do, before it became a storyline for people. I actually did that in my real life, walked away from my corporate job in order to pursue YouTube, right? Alongside of me doing gig work. And so that helped me to stand out. That was one of the biggest things that really got me started in what I'm doing, because a lot of other moms saw me do that because I wanted to be at home with my children. It was very important to me. And so that was my way that I wanted to try. And I had this just deep desire in my heart, just this deep knowing that it was going to work out. I don't know. I had this deep knowing that it was going to work out. And so that was something that helped me to stand out. So as a busy mom doing all the things, trying to do YouTube, gig economy, raise my babies, all the things, I became the girl that said, I'm not with the hamster wheel social media content. Give me evergreen content on a search-based platform all day, every day, over the post 3 times a day on social. That was very against the grain, and it still is. There are still people, that are post on social, and I'm just like anti-hustle. I'm very much anti-hustle. I'm very much give me the soft life business, to where I can do what I want when I want in real life and post online strategically, to where it makes sense for me. So that is something that helped me to stand out in my content. It was probably controversial for a lot of people, right? For me to be saying, girl, I ain't posting no 3 times a day on no social media. I'm just not about to do it. And I don't recommend you do it either. That was very controversial when we were in the day and age of TikTok and posting 3 times a day. I just could not sign up for that. And I focused on other women, mainly moms, who were busy and working and raising kids, because I knew that they didn't want to do that too. Of course they would buy into it because the gurus were saying that, but then here I was like, girl, no, no ma'am. These are 20 somethings telling you to do that, and they don't have kids or a man or any of that. Or these are men that don't have the responsibility of the household like us, telling you to do that. Don't do that, right? And so I stood out for some of those main reasons. And so if you have a perspective that's a little bit different, definitely lean into that. Don't stray away from it. Lean into it, because it could be the very thing that could help you to establish your brand. Okay, now let's talk about income streams. As you build out the brand and you are becoming known for a particular thing, let's talk about how you're going to make income. So the very first thing that I started to do, and this is going to be a little backwards from how I recommend doing it today, because things were a lot different back then. But one of the very first things that I did in order to make money online is brand deals. And I partnered with brands to talk about their products and services that aligned with what I was already talking about and doing in the online space. Because for me, that was the easiest way to go about it. As my story unfolded over on Instagram at the time, that I walked away from my corporate job and this is what I was doing. And I'm out here living my best life on a budget. Brands were attracted to that and I started to partner with brands. Now, today, I would recommend something that works really well for me these days and I really love and I think is great for a beginner, and that's affiliate marketing, because you can do something that's similar to a brand deal without having that partnership, but it is a good means to the actual partnership. Let me break it down. So affiliate marketing is simply you talking about the products and services that you use, like, and love in your daily life, right? And so when you recommend them to your audience, if they try those products and services out, you can get a commission for sending them to the company. And as you continue to do that over time, you can make really good money in affiliate marketing. I mean, oh my gosh, from clothes to home decor to software that I use online, I just start talking about it and I started making revenue. One of my favorite programs right now for new content creators is obviously going to be the Amazon Influencer Program, because Amazon sells everything. Okay, most of us have shopped on Amazon or bought something on Amazon or own something that is sold on Amazon. So it's one of the first ways that I do recommend that newbies begin to monetize, because it's easy. Okay, it's easy. After that, there are definitely other ways and other methods that you can do it, but affiliate marketing being the very first way that you can open up your income as a content creator. It gives you the confidence to start telling people about things, right? Because I can easily tell you about my phone case, right? Because it's on my phone. I've been using it. I like it. I can talk about it without feeling like I'm selling you. Because one thing that I've learned is that creators dread, the word sale. They dread the word sales. They don't want to feel like they're selling you something. And so I feel like with affiliate marketing, it helps you get comfortable talking about products and services on camera. Okay, so that when you do get to the point to where you want to do a brand deal, you can more easily talk about the product or service, because let me let the cat out of the bag. Brands are not just giving out money, because it seems that people think that. No, they want something in return, right? In addition to exposure to your audience, they would love to make sales, right? They want conversions as well. And so you have to have the experience to be able to do that. And that's not all the time, because sometimes they do awareness campaigns and things like that. But for the most part, you want to drive those conversions to continue that relationship with them. But affiliate marketing, I think, is a great starting point. Next, after I was doing affiliate marketing and I was building out my brands, people began to ask me, well, how are you doing this? How are you doing that? How do I do this? Yada, yada, yada. They wanted to know all the things that I was doing, right? And so I created an ebook, because most of the questions were surrounding blogging, because that's kind of how I got my start. Not kind of, it is. It's how I got my start. My blog was the foundation, and I would repurpose that content onto Instagram, just sharing out the same things pretty much in a different way, formatted for that platform. And so I started getting all these questions and I went into digital products, right? Digital products today, we all have heard of them. They are all the rage. They are one of the best ways that you can monetize your brand right away online. But what people do not tell you is that you got to do that first step that I was talking about and build out brand before you can just sell people something. Because who are you? Why you want my money? Why should I believe you anyway? Is this just AI you threw up in a book? You know what I'm saying? You have to build brand in order to be able to successfully build out those digital products. And that's the thing they don't tell you, but I got you. So digital products being a great way to monetize here in 2025. I think it's amazing when you do it the right way. Those are the two ways I do think are amazing for beginners. If you want some other ways that I think are great too, if you're just getting started, download my monetization roadmap. It's at the link in my description. I go more in depth for beginners in that, so you can get some more ideas and other ways that you can monetize. But let me go into a little bit more advanced way. If you are intermediate or you've been doing this for a while, I absolutely love coaching. Coaching has been the core of my business over the last year or so. I would say 2 years probably. I would do classes here or there earlier in my business, and I love those. But for me, it didn't last long enough. It was like I would do this weekend class or this 30-day class, and it would be like, oh my gosh, I need to know, did they get the results? Did they execute? How did this go? And I just would feel a little bit more attached to the outcome, and I didn't get to see the outcome all the time because what I was teaching was a more of a longer term process. And so for me, I decided that I just kind of wanted to spend a little bit more time with the people that I was coaching to kind of see the outcomes they were getting and be able to coach them along. And I have found that coaching has been so fulfilling for me. And there's so many ways that you can do it. You can start by simply doing weekend workshops, right? Coaching people through challenges. So maybe like a 7-day challenge, or you can do a 30-day challenge, or you can do a membership. There's so many ways that you can do it, but coaching has been fantastic for me because not only do you get to share what you know in real time. Okay, this is what separates the real from the fake, the AI from the, oh, she's an OG. Okay, this is what separates it, right? And you also get to build community alongside that. And I think that in 2025 and beyond, that is what's going to separate the high earners from the barely earners. It's going to be community. It's going to be community. You have to show up for your people and create that. That's what impact is. It's showing up. That's what influence is. Being able to really give people help and resources that they can use in their real life and guide them kind of along their way. So coaching has been essential for me, and I absolutely just love it. Okay, now how do I run all of this as a solopreneur, solo dolo, without the burnout? Now let's be real. I've been very open and honest about burnout here on my channel and how I've dealt with that and how, I've overcome. But even while I was experiencing that burnout, I still did things that allowed me to not show up in real time, but still be making my money. My burnout stemmed from just creating content and coaching people and, running my household and being a friend and all the roles in my life, trying to do them all simultaneously. That's kind of where my burnout stems from. But as far as me being able to execute this business, I couldn't do this without systems. Absolutely couldn't do this without systems. One of the main ways is having funnels running in the background. And I don't have very many. I'm working on building out others. But having funnels run in the background that sell digital products for me, that promote affiliate marketing offers for me, hands down, ConvertKit, my email management software, it has been everything to me. I think I've been using ConvertKit for maybe 4 years or so, but it's been so great. I'll add the link to that in my description as well if you are interested in checking it out. I absolutely love it. I love that they already have demo funnels set up, and the only thing that you have to do is go in and drag and drop your information into it. It's set up, boom, and you're ready to go. So super easy for me to just craft up some emails that promote those digital products and those affiliate offers for me without me having to put up so much content over and over and over and over and over again, because all I have to do is get the people onto the email list, and then those funnels will run in the background to promote for me. And then making sure that you have a course platform or a digital product platform that's going to host the digital products effectively and efficiently and work with everything else you have running in the background. There are several to choose from. I've been primarily using Teachable for the last couple of years. I am getting ready to move that over to a new system, but there's several that you can use that are not so robust, right? I need robust, honey, because I do all the things in my business and I'm opening it up to do more. So there's several platforms that you can use to do that. And then Canva. Okay, Canva is the GOAT. Canva is goated out here. You can do every single thing in Canva. I open up Canva every single day. There are softwares that I don't open up or use every day. Canva, hands down, we're using that every single day, from YouTube thumbnails to digital products to photos to video posting on other platforms to affiliate marketing covers to Pinterest. So I use Canva every single day, hands down. It is the core, okay, of all the graphic design in my business, and I think that is essential for a creator today. Okay, you gotta learn Canva. Yes, you can hire things out, but I think it's so important to be able to go in there and create a design for yourself. There are so many templates. It's so easy to use. Canva, hands down. Okay, and then having a weekly workflow, a schedule of sorts that you operate on. You got to ensure that you're tackling all of the areas of the business, okay? So whether it's like, okay, from 10 to 2, I'm going to do this. From 2 to 5, I'm going to do that, or whatever it's going to be. If you work a full-time job, making sure that you got a part-time job too, from 5 to 9, that is your content, okay? Making sure that you're sticking to the plans and the promises that you have made for yourself and your life in your business. That is absolutely essential in how I've built this all out. Baby, I work on this business every single day. There is no day in between. Even when I was first starting out working a full-time job, raising babies 3 under 3, I was working on my content every single day. No excuses, because that's what you got to do. And in 2025, if you want to get out here and you want to, do this in this space, you definitely got to do that, because it's getting more and more saturated, even though it can never be saturated when you stand out and you're unique and you have your own vibes. But there's more people doing this. And so you got to make sure that you are showing up every single day. Okay, so tips for creators. What advice would I give you today? First thing, start with one income stream. Don't try to do all the things at one time. Yes, your favorites have multiple income streams. Yes, that's what they preach. But you start with one. You learn how to do that one effectively, and then you move on to the next thing. Don't try to do all the things at the same time. It's the same with platforms. Yes, your faves, the big creators with a team of 10 behind the scenes that you don't see. Yes, they're on every platform, obviously, but you're just you. Start with one, maybe 2, but don't try to do too much at one time, and make sure those platforms, again, fit the audience and the thing that you do. Then you got to know that you don't need to go viral. You just need to show up and serve the audience that you're trying to serve consistently. You don't have to be this huge creator. It's about showing up, because there's somebody for everybody. And eventually, after a while, people will find you. If you're consistently showing up and you're giving out value and you're being authentic, people will find you. Listen, to get to this point, I haven't gone viral. I haven't done all the PR or the big collaborations or been on all these big podcasts. I'm telling you, this was brick by brick, one at a time. I'm not the most social creator. I'm just not. I have kids. I live my life in real life, and this internet is my business, and I show up to do business. And so I haven't done all the big things that all the big creators do. I've just put my head down, did the work, laid this foundation brick by brick. That's what I've done. And if I can do that, so can you. And then lastly, I want you to think brand and not just content. To be building out a brand, to be building out impact and what you want to be known for and how you want to be seen, and not just creating content for that day. Where do you want this to go and want this to be in 5 years? Okay, not just thinking for the moment, not just thinking virality, but how can you take what you're doing today and make it produce for you in years to come? Okay, so if you need help building that out, or you want to learn how to make more money with your content or with your brand, don't forget to download my monetization roadmap. I will have the link to that in my description, and I invite you to watch this video right here because I go a lot more in depth into exactly how you can build out a brand that is irresistible online.